Welcome. You're listening to the University of Akron Marketing Podcast, sponsored by S3 Technologies.
So I originally had the idea about maybe 3 months ago when I went to West Side Market with my family. I found this really nice slab of lamb ribs that I wanted to cook up. And while trying to find recipes online, there was just so many different ones. But the main issue I kept finding is that on the recipe pages, it was just filled with so many ads that I couldn't even get to the recipe. So this is the original, idea for it, where it's an adless social media where, again, everyone can submit their own. It's like Pinterest in a sense, where you can post the recipes in the description of the photo or the video of what you made. So one of the main features, I would say, of this social media is the fact that it has many different hashtags from the different culture that the cuisine is made from, the different times to cook, the different diets, the different ingredients. So say you are trying to figure out a meal to use the leftover rice from the other day. You can scroll on everyone's cookbook, see what you can make from it, and hey, maybe you had Thai one night, but you want to try a Nigerian dish the next. So you could swap the filter and see what kind of recipes you can make. Another reason that this idea came to fruition is that not everyone knows how to cook. I mean, to be completely honest, I didn't really know how to cook that much either until maybe a year ago. So this is kind of something that means a little bit more to me, that everyone can learn how to cook, because it's not as hard as everyone, you might think. So inspired by Brightspace and its badges, everyone's cookbook will also have badges. So if you want to learn how to fry an egg, to dice an onion, how to properly temp meat without a meat thermometer, those are the kinds of things that we could do. And another factor that kind of goes into this is that we could also have community challenges. So every couple days or every week or so, you could have this big challenge to make from something small to again, dicing an onion or cutting up a carrot for soup, show off your knife skills. You can also be as big as making a whole Thanksgiving turkey. Who knows? So you might be wondering, how might we make revenue from this and the total? Because if it's going to be adless, not much space to make that kind of stuff. So originally, I didn't really know what to do with this, but I did end up thinking of a couple ways. But the main way is sponsorships. And it's not going to be the normal pop-up ads or whatever. They are going to be sponsored segments by the company, from the company, showing off, themselves cooking with their own products. So, I don't know, a good pan company. So say you have a company that specializes in pots and pans of different cutlery. They can show off their own, they can make their own challenge of making curry, or who knows. I don't know. The target audience for this would be adults from around 18 to 40. I wouldn't say any higher than 40 because I personally don't know if anyone is good at social media above that age. But 18 to 40 range is about the time that it's their prime and their social media savvy is the term I'm going to go for it. We're also targeting beginners, again, with the whole badges and teaching. It helps everybody out. Because everyone's cookbook, they help everyone learn. For the consumers who wish to get the app, it is a clutter-free way of learning recipes. It's a place of community for everyone to teach everyone, and it helps everyone get together. For marketers, though, it is a good place to show how authentic you are. You want to be able to sell to these people? Well, start cooking for them, Show off that you yourself are human, and I don't think a lot of companies do that anymore. They have to show off they're authentic. They have to show off that they too are people like you and me. So what's better than a home cooked meal? So, oh, almost dropped my script. So, I think starting off with the social media, it'll be slow, cause not everyone's gonna be like, hey, everyone's cookbook. There's like no recipes on here. But the more traction it gains, the bigger and better it's gonna get. As always, more recipes, more people to join, and that's just traction. I think the way it'll go is that if everyone's cookbook were to get picked up, is that I myself would be one of the people on the app. I would be one of the first people to start cooking and showing off recipes. So again, with the lengthwise, short term, long term, short term, long term is gonna be one of the pitfalls for this app, as well. In the short term, if it doesn't pick up enough traction, there's not going to be enough recipes for everybody. But that's okay, because we're more focused. We're more focused on the long term, in which long term, more people get on, more recipes are added, and it's a big chance for also cooking influencers to get on there. And there goes my paper. So a big influencer would be like Binging with Babish. He makes YouTube videos all the time about cooking from different, media. So I think that he would be a very prime influencer to get on the app. I don't know if I really have that much else to say about everyone's cookbook other than the fact that I really enjoy, this idea.